So I want to answer just a couple of frequent questions. One of the frequent questions that I get is, why are there so many questions on a psychometric test? There's some things that are marketed as an emotional intelligence assessment that just have a handful of questions. And in some ways that sounds great because you can quickly do it and you're done. But remember when I talked about construct validity and saying we're going to have this concept and we're going to approach it from multiple perspectives. What we found, even after many rounds of validation, is that something complicated like empathy or emotional awareness, we can't get at the nuanced meaning of that without a good handful of questions. And when we reduce it farther, the meaningfulness starts to fall apart. So you take a big concept like emotional intelligence, you break it into some component pieces, into a theoretical model, and then maybe some subcomponents, and each of those subcomponents needs to have a constellation of questions that creates a rigor around that small piece. And so you're going to end up with a questionnaire that's going to have somewhere between 50 and 150 questions before you can start saying, yes, this is going to give me substantive information. The next frequent question that I get is, if I want to use something in a class or in a workshop and I can't afford to, or I don't have time to use a robust tool, can I just use a light tool and, a little self-scoring quiz I get off the internet? I would really recommend against this, because what you're doing is you're undermining the substantive meaning of this very important concept. As soon as you say to somebody, oh yeah, this little quiz is going to tell you about your emotional intelligence, and then look at it and they say, I can get whatever score I want, this is not real, you've just taught them that emotional intelligence is something fluffy. And a lot of people went into your class thinking emotional intelligence is something fluffy. So you're way better off just asking reflection questions. And on the spot, say, for example, in most emotional intelligence models, one of the key concepts is emotional awareness. Ask them a question about what's a time when you've found yourself being aware of emotions, what's a time you found yourself challenged to be emotionally aware. Have a conversation with a small group, write down some of the key points that could help you be more emotionally aware. That's going to give you some richness in the conversation without watering down the concept. Emotional intelligence is groundbreaking and transformational. This stuff makes a vast amount of difference in people's lives, in educational processes, in businesses, in healthcare organizations, in military organizations. This is serious stuff. Take it seriously. Use a tool that's worthy of the importance of these concepts and that you're going to be able to work with over time and go deeper and deeper. So let me just recap. When you're choosing how to measure emotional intelligence, there are different kinds of tools. You want to use a tool that's suited towards your goals, and you want an appropriate level of validity, both in terms of face validity, in terms of test-retest validity, in terms of construct validity, so that you can count on the results. And you're going to use this in a way that's serious, so that you take this serious concept and you help make it meaningful for people. And then there's all kinds of things you can do with this data. And in another video, we're going to talk about different ways of using emotional intelligence data to help you individually or organizationally.